Live Beacon interviewed a number of university students from different backgrounds with different experiences and different perspectives. The students talked about the university experience all the way from the UCAS application to how they think university has helped them prepare for their careers. The purpose of this documentary is to help you effectively prepare for university so that you can have a smooth transition into higher education. Be sure to take note of anything you find particularly helpful and enjoy the documentary.
I got a login from my sixth form, and it was to do with my school email, and I got a specific password, and then that's how I accessed UCAS.
Go on the UCAS portal, you'd have obviously like a login and everything, and you'd start working on your personal statement to try and make yourself as sort of like desirable as possible by these universities. Don't try and overcomplicate it with a lot of fancy words and stuff. It's just almost like you're writing a CV for a job. Like they'll kind of see through that. So try and keep it authentic. Try and keep it true to yourself, because it's meant to be a personal statement, like possessed like personal elements and components of it. So it's meant to be something that sounds like you.
You also have to be, I can't be very arrogant. You can't like toot your own horn too much. Don't be too arrogant, but big yourself up.
Show you're passionate and show the sort of experiences that you've got.
Submit your personal statement, and then you kind of make your 5 choices. So you have your firm choice, your insurance choice, and then sort of 3 others as well. Just in case you don't get the sort of criteria grade wise for the firm choice, you at least have some options to fall back on.
See, I advise you to do your UCAS as soon as possible. It's honestly a stress off your hand.
It's not a competition. I wrote this in my blog, but I'll say it again here. It is not a competition when amongst you and your friends, and if someone in your friendship group has gone to 3 universities or they've already applied to so many and you're still on your first one or you're still unsure, don't worry. It's not a competition. It's about you and your personal growth and what you want to do for the future.
Technically, I applied to do mechanical engineering, so I changed course midway through my first year. So when I was applying with the intention of studying engineering. So most of my stuff was geared towards that. My personal statement was obviously geared towards what I thought I wanted to do, which turned out to be completely different to what I actually wanted to do. I didn't have an interest in it. Obviously, to study something at university, you have to, you're doing it every single day, 8 hours a day. So you have to have an interest in it, and I found that I was in lectures and just not caring. Basically, I should have taken a year out really. If that would be one bit of advice, if you can take a year out.
Just an international reputation for its sporting excellence, its facilities, as well as its student experience as well.
I considered how far away from home it would be, because at the time I was very nervous to move away from home. So I wanted somewhere that wasn't too far but wasn't too near. I considered the course. There were a lot of places that I really did like, but some of the modules just didn't really click with me. So that was another thing. And also the atmosphere of the university.
Going to a top 5 university in the UK, that already intrigued me. Secondly, my course was mostly politically related because I had a keen interest in history, geography, and politics. And I was like, what's the best subject that can combine all these courses into one? And then I found international relations and politics when I was looking at the course modules. It had a lot of the modules that included history, geography, politics. They were all very interesting.
If you are not sure what you want to do, I wouldn't advise going to university yet. I would advise taking a gap year and just finding what you like. There is no point spending so much money for something that you're going to hate. But you need to enjoy your course, you need to enjoy your degree, you need to enjoy your university experience. So if you have no idea what you want to do, or you're not even sure, don't go straight into it. Take a year out. Yes, university is so beneficial, it will help you a lot, but
you don't want to waste your time and resources to go somewhere when you don't know what you want. You don't want to be sitting in a lecture every day and being bored and thinking, why am I here? Why did I choose this course? That is a horrible feeling, because you're actually spending time and effort to get a good grade and to study and to read, to find out that you don't even like your course. So 100% make sure you want to do that.
So maybe you didn't get the grades that you wanted, or you're a bit confused on what you want to do. Doing a foundation course is that kind of passageway into figuring out yourself, figuring out what you want to do with education. Prospects.ac.uk finds foundation year as a stepping stone into the world of higher education, particularly if you don't have the right qualifications to go straight onto a degree program. I felt it would help me get a better insight into university without, I guess, the pressures of first year, so figuring out what I wanted to do. And it's where you can get more used to it without having the pressures of normal university life. Maybe if you're coming in from A-levels of college, a foundation degree is like starting university. So you would still, I guess, feel kind of at the beginning out of your depth, because university is hard whether you do a foundation degree or not. And I guess another one would be most of what other people will say, because there's a lot of misconceptions about doing foundation courses, because people just think it's because you didn't get the grades, or because you're like not smart enough to go straight into university, or that they think, for my degree specifically, that it's just a year to like muck about and not do anything. I guess first I had to keep reminding myself that I was doing a foundation course because I wanted to know more about art in general, and trying to hold less value on people's opinions, specifically since they don't really know a lot about art in general. The majority of people that were saying like negative things towards a foundation degree, usually people don't really know a lot about it, so when they say stuff, I'll either have to inform them or just ignore what they say. And also I think a way to deal with it is just stepping out of a place of, I guess, resentment towards people, because it can get annoying when people are like constantly telling you that you weren't smart enough, or maybe that your foundation is easy and stuff, when it is like just as difficult as doing a university degree going straight in. So I guess to round up, I would just say thinking about why you're doing it and not holding people's opinions of high value at a high value. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm not very picky. I mean, if they'd have said, here's a bed, here's a toilet, I'd be like, okay. But I just wanted there to be a big desk, because at home I don't have a big desk, and I really wanted a desk where I could spread out all my things, and I did get that in my accommodation. I was really happy.
I got the minimum student loan, so I was looking for nice, cheap and cheerful.
My tips would be to do your research, to be honest. I probably spent days just looking for accommodation, because bear in mind, you want an accommodation that fits the lifestyle you want to live. If you want a quiet place, then look for areas that are quiet. If you want a cheap accommodation, then look for cheap accommodation. If you want a place where you can make loads of friends, go to parties, be involved, then maybe look into accommodations that are in campus. So
go in with an open mind with accommodation, because you might not get the hall you want, but if you end up in a different hall, in a different flat, you could end up meeting some of the most wonderful people you will ever meet in your life.
If you get the chance to, probably apply for different styles, because if you're applying for a double bed ensuite and you apply for all double bed ensuite, then it's likely that everyone else is doing the same. So maybe go for double bed not en suite or double bed catered or something like that that's maybe a little bit different, so it gives you the chance to not lose out fully, so you don't get completely the opposite of what you did apply for.
If you get a hall that you don't really want, I say don't be disheartened. But if you obviously want to change it and able to change it, I'd say go speak to the student accommodation centre, try and explain your situation.
For first year, I'd say go into university accommodation. I wouldn't really advise going to private accommodation, only because if you're in a university accommodation within the campus area or just outside of it, like I was in the Hope, you get used to the atmosphere in university. You make friends quickly by going to different events, going to different activities, making new friends. So there's that bonding experience that you have. But if you go into a private accommodation, you're quite far. I struggled a lot finding my lectures, to be honest. Obviously that's just a common thing that happens. Honestly, if you come into the university and you can't find your lecture halls, don't worry about it. It happens. There are fresher helpers everywhere to help.
It was an introduction lecture, and I'd never walked from my accommodation to my lecture theatre, so I didn't know the route. So I kind of took a picture of the map on my phone so I didn't look weird, and tried to find my way there. And now I look back and think I took the longest route I possibly could have taken, and just didn't really realise. But I think after that day, I figured out who in my accommodation also did the same course. So then I used to walk to lectures with them. But yeah, I think on the first day it was just sort of making it up as I go along and just trying to figure out how to even get there. And I definitely left earlier than I normally would, just to make sure I'd get there in time.
All lecturers naturally have expectations of students and stuff, because obviously they're trying to lecture you or teach you the content and stuff, so they kind of expect a certain maybe level of engagement and attendance as well and stuff like that. I guess that's where it comes down to the tutorials and the seminars. Then they're able to have sort of their own sort of smaller expectations, because they get to know you on a more personal level.
I wasn't a great cook when I first came to university. I didn't really have much cooking experience, so that resulted in takeaways, resulted in a lot of weight gain, a lot of money spent as well. For me, it was just more like going back home, learning recipes, and then coming back to university and actually performing it and doing it in the kitchen. Before you come into university, you get an opportunity to join different group chats on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, and by joining those group chats, I just sort of putting my voice out there, just telling people, do you want to come chill? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And people agreed, and then we just sort of all came together. So my advice to be is just to put your voice out there, just to talk on the group chats, during the group chats as soon as possible.
I've got involved in everything I can, so get involved in as much as you can, I suppose. In first year I did some volunteering, I did some fundraising, did sports, I still do some sports, I've tried out new sports.
It really builds you up as a person. Taking on volunteering roles, you learn how to become a leader, you learn how to become a team manager, you learn how to work in a team, you learn how to delegate, you learn how to talk and communicate with people from all different walks of life, and that is a vital skill that you will need in your career. So you don't just come to university to just do your degree and go. You come and you take on extracurricular things, take on different activities. There's so many volunteering roles in universities. They want students to volunteer. And they're just great roles for you to develop yourself as a person. I think personal development is the most important thing that you could gain from university.
It's probably important to do something else outside your degree, whether it doesn't have to be massive, whether it's some extra reading that you've done, or a volunteering opportunity, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this huge thing. I suppose as long as you've just shown that you do have that extra passion and you do have the motivation to go outside of the box and outside of the curriculum, I think that's what's important. It doesn't have to be huge.
Even if you just do sports, that is a great extracurricular activity to do. Exercising, becoming healthy, you're still developing yourself.
Without having those opportunities, being able to lead meetings, interact with different people that I've not met before, speak to staff within the department, all these sort of different aspects of interacting with people, communicating with people, getting to know people, has definitely helped. And I think because of that, it's now made me a lot better in interview situations, in job roles, sort of those various different aspects of longer term career. And I think that getting involved has definitely helped with my confidence, definitely helped with talking and relaying my point, and making sure that I can hopefully be understood by people as well.
All these skills that I've acquired, for example, leadership skills, team management skills, communication skills, I've put them on my CV and it has attracted companies. I would say that without coming to university, I wouldn't have gotten the skills and knowledge that I need for my career, basically. Even if it's not for the actual degree, coming to university opens great doors for you. You meet great people that could actually be your key to your career or key to success in a certain area. And you learn so much about yourself.
You may have no idea what you want to do when you, graduate and whatnot, but I feel like, your university experience kind of helps you determine that and decide that. You sort of work it out on the way through, the people you meet, the sort of activities and stuff you engage in, connections you establish.
You can meet a ton of people from all walks of life. It's a melting pot, and I really like that about university.
I feel if you go to university and all you get is a degree, then in my opinion, you've done university wrong. It's also a great way to discover different things that you want to do besides your degree, and to be able to meet new people and to be able to explore different avenues or businesses.
During my time at university, I started 2 businesses, and I think that university has helped me even get to that point, because the university has the enterprise section, which help you. They help you with funding, they help you with ideas, help you with developing your business. So I think with even just these resources that the university provides has actually helped me with my business.
Have fun as well and learn how to balance your studies and education with your social life and everything.
When you come to university, you need to realize that you're actually writing for a experienced academic lecturer. You need to realize that this person is experienced in their field. They've marked thousands of papers. They're doing research in this area. So you need to get your essay writing down to a university standard and not an A-level standard. There's so many resources online that are free. Practice your academic writing. If you've never read a scholarly text, please find some text online. Familiarize yourself with the language that they use and with the words that they use, because it's very, very different to A-level. Learn how to manage your time, get organized, become accountable to yourself. Because when you come to university, there's going to be nobody checking to see if you're attending your lectures. There's going to be no one calling you like, where are you? Your parents will even be checking up on you like that. So, and your lectures are definitely not going to do that. So you need to learn to be disciplined and manage your time well. So practice that over the summer holidays. Practice being accountable to yourself. Practice waking up by yourself without your parents telling you to wake up.
Trust God with your hardships, because university isn't easy. So having that relationship with God will definitely help you. Yeah, that's what I can say.